Morning champions. Today's words adapt. Adapt or die. In 2005, when I broke my back and both my legs, I was violently forced to adapt. I could no longer do karate like I could. I had to change my entire life. Everything had to change. Thing is that most of us don't have something that is massive like that forces us to adapt, to change, to evolve. Most of the time, the changes in our life are incremental and small, and sometimes we don't keep up with them with our mind. So today, we're just going to talk about a few different things that may help us to remember that we must adapt, we must change, we must evolve. Okay. So the areas that karate teaches us to adapt, to evolve, to change, one is in our kumite. When we're doing kumite, you have to have different styles for different opponents. You have to have different strategies for different opponents. In your training routines, as time pressure changes in your life, you may need to adapt your training regime. Or when you first start out, you might start out training once a week. You need to move it up to twice a week. Then you might have a big grading coming up and you need to have it spaced repetition 3 times a week. Or you may be training 3 times a week and then life changes and you don't have the same ability to train as often, so you have to drop it down to once a week. Adapt, but don't die. Dying means quit, stop. All right? Once a week is better than anything's better than nothing. Techniques. You may injure yourself, have some injuries. When I broke both my legs and my back, I had to adapt all my stances. I have to know the right way and I have to know my way. When you have injuries, you may have to adapt your training so that you can continue to train. If you're in a fight and you have an injury, you break your hand, you're going to have to fight with one hand. You're going to have to adapt on the fly. When you're in the dojo and you have an injury, when you're training and you have an injury, adapt your training. Don't stop, don't die. The fourth thing that you may need to adapt is you have some grading ideas or you have some grading goals, and you need to adapt or change or evolve the timelines. Something might hold you back. For example, if you can train more often, you might be able to grade more often. If for some reason you can't train as often, you might not be able to grade as regularly. But you can't compare yourself to someone who is training regularly and has the ability to grade more regularly. So you've got to adapt, evolve, change. Make sense? So you've got 2 choices. You can adapt your attitudes and your expectations when something happens, or you die. Dying means quit, stop. Adapt or die. Okay? So firstly, inside the dojo, you will need to learn to adapt. The dojo, the karate venue where you train, this is where we learn to adapt ourselves, adapt our attitudes, adapt our mindsets, adapt our routines, our processes. And if you do that successfully, you'll get your black belt. Then take that learning, put it out into the outside life, and learn to adapt to change outside of life to become a black belt. Okay? Inside the dojo, get your black belt. Outside the dojo, become a black belt. Hope that makes sense. We're on countdown to get back to training. Can't wait. It's going to be big. It's going to be good. It's going to be a big year. I'm excited. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the dojo very soon.